Right, okay, we've got another question here, mate, by WWGA1WGA. Apart from the donation side, is there anything us in London can do to spread PAG?
We're having a bit of a get-together sometime around about the 18th to the 20th of October. I'm going down there. It's actually, funny enough, it's a clan meet. I'm going on a clan meet for when I used to run my gaming days before PAG. But it's like 20 years now, so we're going down there, meeting a few of my old mates. However, I'm going down there to meet a few people as well. So when we're on the Saturday, we're going to head into London, maybe Justice Building or something. We'll have a bit of a congregate and a chat and a few signs out and a few independent inquiries, signs maybe.
Okay.
Not a massive event, just meet and greet more or less, you know what I mean?
Certainly.
Meet and greet.
Well, you'll have to let me know when that's happening, because if I can come down, at very least I'll talk about it so I can create some awareness for when you get down there.
It's not finalised yet, but we want to head to London for a couple of days so I can have a meet and greet. Those people in the south can come and have a chat with me.
Brilliant.
You know what I mean? So anyone who's from the south who wants to chat, feel free to ask me and I'll give you the inbox me and I'll send you the details once we've organised and sorted.
Excellent. Well, I'll be the first to let anyone know as soon as you let me know.
You'll be coming with us.
Hopefully I'll be there, mate.
We'll kidnap you.
So in the meantime, it's the usual stuff, I guess, just sharing whatever posts, talking about, you know.
So yeah, community curiosity, guys. So we're trying to promote it. So if you're a postman, if you're a milkman, if you're a dinner lady, crossing the kids in the morning, lollipop lady, whatever they call. You could be on you going travelling at the same time the kids are going to school. You will see things that you don't realise you're seeing. Doesn't matter how small it is, report it, because you could be making so much of a difference. Now the police might say, we're sick of all these reports that lead to nothing. But in all them reports that lead to nothing, there's 3 in there that led to something, and that's the difference. So yeah, some community wakey, you know what I mean?
I'm going to say that word again, Billy. Vigilant. Be vigilant.
Be vigilant. Be smart.
Yeah.
The police have cut. The numbers are not there for them. We know this. But we can't keep using that as an excuse. But as long as we've got eyes in our head, we can do our little bit by just watching, just by logging things down. Yeah. If you see the same car outside of school and it's a guy under 20, how's he got a kid out? If you're outside an high school, there's a guy in his 20, under 30-year-old parked outside an high school. Chances are he's not got a kid at high school unless he had a kid when he was 15. He's not got a kid at an high school, so the possibility is he could be a paedophile, he could be a groomer, So start logging these things and start telling Big Bill.
Brilliant.
Either this Big Bill or that Big Bill.
That Big
Bill.
The other. One or the other. Well, I know which one I'd rather tell and which one's got more likelihood of success.
A lot of people think we've got this magic one. We go, whoa, we've caught this paedophile. We don't. We've got to go to the police.
Yeah.
But we go loaded to the police.
Oh, so it takes you quite a lot of intel in order to get the police to pick it up.
I mean, if we'd only send bits of intel, nothing gets done. We don't even get an acknowledgement for the email. You know what I mean? As if they say, what a load of shit. We'll log it as intelligence. You know what I mean? It's only when I go and I tag certain people in the email, they know I mean business. So that's the way it gets done now.
Due diligence, mate. Brilliant. Right, this one is quite a long one, but I just wanted you to hear this, really. It's from Daz. Tell Billy he needs to open PAG UK down south, as I need to bring a lady to him so she gets the justice she deserves. It's a shocking story. She got raped when she was 15 and it changed her life. Why I know this? I was friends with her mum and her daughter was 7 at the time, so I have seen her grow up. She had to go onto morphine for the damage that was done. She is now off morphine. The police at the time was watching the chap on something big, and the police said when we get him for that, we will charge him for rape. A year later, to the date, she got raped. The police was at their door and told the mum, we have got him now for what we wanted him for, and he has just raped a 13-year-old girl. Then the police went back and told the mum, sorry, the Crown will not take her case on as it is a year old. How sad is that? Her case got shut down, bless her.
Absolutely feel for him and the family, because we're seeing this 9 out of 10 cases. Remember, we discussed it before. So many kids. But the way it is now, this is why Richard Farnell didn't get charged. The CPS's threshold of charging someone with a criminal offence, it used to be here. They've raised it to here now. So now it's virtually impossible. Unless you got your hand in the cookie jar now, that's what the case. Unless you leave DNA or, you know, if 4 people seen you, it's still not enough. Do you know what I'm saying to you? And that's the difference. That's what's going on. So
it's
I would love to
frustrating.
meet this girl and her family and to see if we can help in any way, because what she's been told is absolute bullshit. She has a right to appeal that decision, and we can help her do that, no problem. We've done it for others and it's worked. We've done it for others and it hasn't. But then we'll just find another way to help that person. The main thing about it is to help her recover. Justice comes secondary. Let's help her recover. Let's get her life back to normal, and then we'll go after that. But yeah, we're here if you need us.
The blatant lack of justice only compounds the trauma, though, doesn't it? Surely.
It feeds the trauma.
Yeah.
It can initiate the trauma from trauma to insanity.
Yeah.
That can be the trigger.
No
I
one's listening.
was told within a week. I gave them over 6 names of my abusers whilst I was in military cadets. Okay. And a week later they came back and said no further action. Well, it might have been a bit later, about 2 weeks, maybe 3 tops, but it wasn't long, and they come back. So there's been no investigation. They've just gone, oh, historic, time loop. No one stores the paperwork. It's been back in the 80s. That's the main one we get. Oh, paperwork's been, it doesn't exist with no paperwork, so
Can't
no
follow it up.
further action. Crime Prosecution Service won't take it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think children's services around the country need top-down reform. I think probation around the country needs top-down reform, and I also believe, it's gone blank. Probation, children's services, and the police need top-down reform. And Crime Prosecution Service, all of them need top-down reform to look at and be retrained on how to treat and how to be trauma-trained, how to treat survivors, because you haven't got a fucking clue at the minute.
Reading from a book, that's how I do.
Yeah.
Very little people tell me they've had good aftercare. The only time I've seen great aftercare is at Minshall Street Crown Court when we were downstairs in the witness services. They was awesome. They absolutely played it on the line for the girl. You know what I mean? They made her feel comfy, safe, the lot. You know what I mean? And I can only praise the right people at the right time, but it's not their job to make sure survivors. It's the Crime Prosecution Service to make sure they're trained and understand trauma. Even to the point of juries, selected juries need to have. I would give them. I'd say if you get selected for a jury, you've got to sit this class first, an awareness class on what a survivor goes through, because it's like the Empower thing that's going on today, the invisible.
Done it.
It's exactly the same. They're seeing somebody in the dock, and that's how they're picturing.
They can't interpret it because they
You
haven't got the
can't, you can't,
context.
and this is why it's a great thing that Danny's doing, you know. I'm sorry I'm not there today with Dan and the team, you know what I mean?
Yeah, good luck to him, mate.
But we had stuff on ourselves.
Yeah.
So, you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
no,
It's like, wake up, man.
Yeah.
Wake up.
Right, here's another question. This is from someone I regard as the Mank Angel, Stacey Emery.
Liverpool, Liverpool, Liverpool.
There was no need for that, was there? Seriously?
Man, Angel, I'm
He's
a
City
Liverpool
fan.
agent.
He's a City fan and he wouldn't even do that. Can you ask Billy, has he heard from NAPAC since Pete Saunders being exposed, or anything from Sam Booth re the incident, and why they stood by him? And does he know if Saunders has stepped away from the Truth Project, as surely he should now? What a snake, even lying to the ICSA being on the panel and not disclosing his previous. He kept his dirty secret for 7 years from them. I have issues enough with the ICSA investigations, Phil. I wonder how many others are keeping secrets. Before you go there, mate, if you could explain who NPAC are, NAPAC, and Pete Saunders, just so people who are not
Right.
understanding of that question,
The
what
PAC
they
was
mean.
an organisation very much like PACE that dealt with abused children. I promoted the PAC in the early days of PAG UK, but I didn't get any feedback from them for doing that, so I stopped promoting them. The Truth Project is great. I love it. I won't say a bad word about it. ICSA, on the other hand, I supported it, so I was one of its biggest supporters in the early days. Not so much anymore. I've opened my eyes to it. Actually, it's just lip service for survivors, and we don't need millions of pound inquiries to do that. You know what I mean? We could do that here in the park.
They don't seem to want to go far enough. They don't seem to want to dig the bones.
Was it 320 people came forward in the Nottingham one, and only 16 convictions? Over 30 from Rochdale came forward, and that's just for one school. 0 convictions. It smells of rat meat.
It's not adequate, is it?
There's no accountability that
So
follows.
it's more like appeasement than actually being effective.
The other thing, and it was probably the final straw, was Richard Farnell has lied to the inquiry, official report released by the inquiry. But Rochdale Council, there's no evidence of a cover-up. So if the leader of the council has been found under oath lying, therefore he's covering things up under the scale of the council.
Sure.
And they said, no, it don't work like that. Okay. So
Goes
I've
back
lost
to
all
what I'm saying.
faith in the Ixon inquiry.
Yeah. Well, going back to what she was saying about Pete Saunders being exposed, do you know anything about
Yeah,
that?
of course I do. Yeah, Pete Saunders was on the survivors panel at the Ixon.
Okay. What do you think about all that?
It's an absolute disgrace to find out that people who are working for both ICSA and both NAPAC are not. And these are organisations with bank pools of money, yeah? They're not like PAG UK who've not got a right lot.
Who do they get their funding by? The government?
Yeah, the registered charities. But the government's funded ICSA anyway, you know what I mean? But NAPAC is a charity.
So going back to what you're saying about the government funding ICSA, do you reckon the government, by funding ICSA, they're saying, well, ICSA, you do know you can only go so far, don't you?
There you go.
We can't, because I remember watching 1 or 2 ICSAs, and I think one of the Labour candidates who was speaking was almost at glee because the panel that were being brought up to testify were not being grilled. It was only like an open conversation almost. It wasn't like a court
The only
case where
person that got saw drag over the coals for any inquiry out of what's is Richard Farnell, and that's because Altman had a bee in his bonnet.
Right.
He tore Richard Farnell to pieces, rightly so. You know, the evidence was there, just not enough of it to get him charged as far as the Met Police are concerned. So I want to go back to Pete Saunders. I don't know nothing about the guy. He's not someone I've met, or I don't think I have, or I've ever had an association with. But how can these? I mean, it's £80 or something, £65 for an extensive CRB check done. So we've had to raise that money to get ours done. Do you know what I mean? So it's cost us quite a bit of money. We didn't have that money lying about. You know what I mean? We've had to earn that money by doing car boot sales and stuff. These guys have got that money in the bank, so why are they not doing it? Especially ICSA. ICSA wants, it needs to be shut now. ICSA needs to go. It needs to stop what it's doing and just go. And each of these towns that I've had, you know, Rochdale still needs an independent inquiry. Rotherham still needs an independent inquiry. Oxford still needs an independent, and ICSA's been to these places.
It's not gone far enough, though.
It's not done. It's not done. It's not even done anything. Do you know what I mean? Now I spoke to a lady. I forgot her name. I think we met her in Lancaster. She was an Asian lady who worked for ICSA, and she said the problem is no Asians coming forward to ICSA. I've not seen. I go through Dovegate. I'm on patrol. I walk the whole length of Rochdale. I've not seen one ICSA poster aimed
Inviting people to come.
I had to ask them to send me information
Right.
in Arabic and in Urdu. You know, remember, I had to get it all down. Dan got it sent to me. There's no interest in it. You know what I mean?
So if they're not asking for people, they're not going to get the intel. If they don't get the intel, they're not going to report on it.
I could see the woman's frustrations. I could see the woman's frustration because that's all she wanted is, well, it's not going to happen, is it? You know what I mean?
No,
So,
dead in the water. Well, that's all the questions there, mate. Thank you very much for taking the time out with that.
of course, mate. It's a pleasure. It's an honour.
Anything else you want to kind of add to that before we wrap this segment up?
No,
Because
just
we're
guys
going to
keep
keep talking.
we see us. We're approachable. We're talkable. We're always open. My inbox is always open. My number's always open. Night time, bedtime, and that. You know, I would just leave it till the morning. If you can't wait, phone me straight away. We're here, not for us, but we're here for you guys. We're here for our children. We want it to stop. We'll never stop it all, but we can make sure that those that allow it and those that do it get brought to justice, and those that it happens to are fully supported in the background. So.
Right, so we're all wrapped up now anyway, guys. Thank you very much for all your questions. And like I say, just keep following this channel. And if you want to follow any more of what Paggy's doing, they're available on Facebook. I'll leave a link in the description below. Okay, guys, so this is Red Pill Phil. I love you all, even the pissing haters.